What is up, everyone? This is Kay with Skywolf Game Studios, and today I want to talk about something interesting. So, let's dive right in. Alright, we're going to go to Games, Barco and the Lost Bone. So here, I've got this unique stylized look, and in my game, this is intentional. But if you don't want that, what you need is kind of a flat cartoon kind of coloring where you don't have like the shadows or anything so that it's not affected by light, which is called a flat material. You're basically removing the specular, metallic, and roughness all at the same time so that it's not affected by the light. So how do you do this? Alright, so we're going to go into Unreal Engine. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to just use 5.5 since that's the latest. I'm going to go ahead and launch that. And go to Games, and let's just go ahead and click third person. I'm just going to leave it defaults. I don't want any starter content. And we'll just call this Flat Material TPS or something, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Just going to grab that just so I have it. It should just open the project though. Alright, so now that we got our third person project all set up and ready to go for our flat materials, you can see here the light is affecting the default materials that come in here, and basically they're shadowing, and right here there's a big shadow right there, and that's because it's being affected by the sunlight. So if I change this to like see how it's changing color, just gonna undo that. So how do we go about making our flat stylized material that isn't affected by the light to create a more stylized look? What I'm going to do is actually first, before we get ready, on here you'll notice a black outline, and this is actually coming from my Outlineify shader. You can get it over here on itch.io. It's also on Gumroad, or if you're a Patreon supporter of mine, you can get it there as well, along with these project files and others. But anyways, so I've plugged that into the post-process volume under materials. It's right here, it's plugged in as an asset. And then that's what's given the outline to make this effect more dramatic and stylized, which is why it looks like this. Because normally when you come in here, you wouldn't see that black outline. I can change the color, but I'm going to leave it black just because it's going to amplify the edges of the coloring we're about ready to do. So we're going to go ahead and go to the content folder, right click, let's create a new folder. We'll just call this Flat Material. Go ahead and open up that, right click and create new material. Do m_flat shader. And let's go ahead and open up that material. This is what it should look like by default. And you can see right here, it's got some sheen based on the sunlight. Okay, so what we want to do is switch the shading model from default to unlit, and now it will go all black. So all we have to do here is hold down the V key and create a vector parameter. We're going to title this base color, and I'm going to leave mine as black by default. Actually, to make this a little easier so it's not so dark, let's go ahead and change the black to white. That will actually make it a little easier. Or you can leave it black as you want. But anyway, take this top one and plug that into emissive color. The whole thing should turn white. And now you'll see it's not really affected by the light as much. There is a shadow on it, but that's okay. You can always disable that. If you want to control how strong this is, just do drag off of that, press multiply, and then we're going to hold down the S key and get a scalar parameter. And we're going to call this emission strength or something like that. And I'm going to set mine to like 0.1. Nah, yeah, we'll leave it at 0.1. Plug that in there and then plug that in there. So it's kind of dulled out. So instead, let's do 1. That way I'll put it back to normal. And let's just go ahead and select the whole thing. Comment that. That's always important. Generating flat color with strength value, or however you want to comment it. It doesn't matter. All right, let's go ahead and apply, save, and now we've got our flat shader. So what we want to do to have more control over this is not use this one. We want to right click this and create a material instance. Do mi flat shader and then 1. And that way when you duplicate it, it'll do 2, 3, 4 or whatever, or you can just keep using the same one. So in this one, let's open that up. And right here, let's fix that actually right quick before we go any further. So these are grouped, but let's just let's open this back up, and right here, select this one, and then do the same thing for this one. We want to go under the material expression group and just call this, we'll just call it color. And then stick this one under there as well. Right here, color. Arrow, apply, and save that. And now if you go back over to this one, you can close these down and everything's under these. So if I select the base color and I pick something like green, you can actually see the color is changing. And if I want to adjust the emission strength, I can make it like that, like 2. I like that color. It's a little dark. We'll do like 4. That's fine. Let's save that. Close those out. And then now all you need to do is just drag and drop that anywhere you like, or on your character, whatever you want. You can even go right here and just plug it in there. It's probably faster doing it that way. But if you'll notice, when I move around, it's pretty solid. We're not getting that shadow outline anymore that we were seeing. Just change it just so you can see. was there. Put this one over here. And let's duplicate this one. Just duplicate it, and then see it's got two. So all I have to do is change the color. Let's change that one to a blue, or whatever color you want, doesn't matter. Should have it selected, okay. And I'm just gonna leave that middle one undone. You can see, kind of, do the same thing to the character. Let's go ahead and open up that. And I think what I'm going to do is, since that's a female, I want to do purple. Duplicate that again. I think that's good. That looks good. Save that one. And plug it in there. That looks good. More like a pink because of the, let's change that. I want more of a purple. It's because of the emission strength. It's amplifying it. Just turn that down just slightly and it should be fine. That's more of a purple. A little pink still, but that's fine. And we are good to go there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the metric clouds because I don't need that. And I'm gonna select the sky. Go for more of like just kind of playing around with it. Basically, I just removed all the color, and I kind of like that. You can do yours however you like, though. I wouldn't be a bad idea to use like a color matcher thing, like a palette. That way you can make sure all your colors are matching. There's some tools for that. If you need an outline, there's also plenty of tutorials that show you how to do this on YouTube that you can get for free as well. So there we are. I purposely left the armor on just so you can see the light reflecting off of it, but on the flat material that's unlit, you can see it solid. Looks exactly the same. Even if we move the directional light like that, see how the middle square that left this default color on is now shaded. Same with the armor, but the flat material does not have that problem. So that's how you get a stylized look. It's basically emission. And if you don't like how bright that is, you can just turn it down by controlling that material instance. So like if I have like a night scene, see? But anyway, that's how you create a flat material for various stylized projects. Now, you might be thinking, this is great and all, but what about the other type of flat material? And you might want it to still be affected by the light. So, yes, there's another way to do this that isn't as emissive. So what I'm going to do here is going to duplicate the flat shader just so we have a backup copy of that. All this shader bridge, or oh, we'll just call it a flat shader ORG or something, or and just for making this a little easier, I'm gonna open this one up and work on this one so that way we can see what's happening here. So if I zoom in, let's turn down the camera just a smidge so we can zoom in a little closer just to see what's happening. There we go. I think that's probably better right there. So here we have the emissive color, but there's another way to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug that. I'm going to switch this back to default lit, and I'm going to apply it. So we're back to normal. And what I am going to do is I'm going to set the specular to 0, the roughness to 0, and you can see right here it's starting to affect how the light looks. See if we like 1, what's 0 look like? I think 1 looks better. And let's go ahead and plug this now into the base color. Going to unplug this and gonna create another vector color. We'll call this emission. That one is black. And grab the multiply. Plug that in and that in. And let's do that. Okay. So you can actually see it starting to create your stylized shader as an alternative based on the shadows and lighting. And this is another way you can create a unique stylized look. Just be aware that this one is affected by how the light is. Let's go ahead and save that. So if I grab that and turn that down, you can see that the shadow has changed, but it's still pretty flat and looks pretty cool in my opinion. So that's another alternative. anyways, I go ahead and zip up this project. You can get it on my Patreon if you want access to it immediately, plus the outline. And thanks for your support. Go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button if you stuck around, and feel free to show me your projects. Can't wait to see what everyone else is looking on. You guys have a wonderful day.